Hello, this is my third attempt at doing this video this morning and I'm getting really fed up. It is the 7th of July 2018. I am Nessie. Hello. It is nearly 9 o'clock. Francis has left the building. Francis is a gentleman that lives at my ex's block of flats on the top floor. He's gone out in his cap, his thick glasses, a jacket in this hot weather, trousers, black shoes, and he passed the Polish lady in her shorts. And Matthew was outside there yesterday with his old number plate card, with his dark-skinned girlfriend, with his bun in his head. So normally I'm sat in this flat, the Polish people go out, they come back with a boot full of shopping, open it up, I'm right opposite their window, and out there they've got bags and bags of shopping, and I've got usually at home eating a banana or meatballs. And me, David's mum. Anyway, yesterday I went to the library, walked across Plum Pier, had a look at the boats, lovely view, beautiful day, hot sunshine, but it's really been too hot to even sit out in. So I walked down the riverside towards the library, two gentlemen in front of me with cans of beer, walked into the library, fairly quiet, staff in their summer dresses, giggling and all that kind of thing. No police in there today. The dark-skinned girl that the coppers had talked to wasn't in there, so I presume they'd sorted her out somewhere to live. Well, I hope they did anyway, because I think she was homeless and living at the bus station and in and out of the library. So I did my bits like I usually do, looked at Facebook, looked at Twitter, looked at AOL Mail, Gmail, all the same things that I do every day, and I've been writing about for 5 years solid now. And Beverly came in. She's got long grey hair, thick glasses, learning disabilities, and the people at the flats, she had to leave because they were being horrible to her, victimising her and taking the mickey. And I'd seen her have an argument with a chap one day out the window myself. She was forced out of here, and one member of the flats wouldn't call her Beverly, kept calling her Olive, which is wrong. She'd been to the landlord and they'd done nothing to help her, so her brother eventually got her out of here. I'm not so lucky. I haven't got anybody's help and support. I have to cope with it by myself, and they do take the piss, they do take the mickey. They've got nothing better to do than look down your YouTube videos and Facebook's copy, and they're 30 years younger and they look stupid, to be honest. And they know you've got nowhere to go, so they're outside the window. Oh, I'm off to bingo. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. And that's a man talking to a couple of women. They were off out in their nice summer dresses. He was off to bingo because I said that Beverly goes to bingo, has bingo nights, right outside my window at the bottom. I can't help hearing it. If they're going to speak as if they're tone deaf and tell the whole world what they're doing, and I'm in my flat trying to watch the telly, I'm going to not help but hear it. So if you want to tell me what you're doing, shout it out like they do. So Beverly and Jason were a couple. Jason left Beverly. They both were taken the mickey out of in the town centre and in the flats by various people. Jason left first in 2016. Beverly's been moved out of the flats for 3 months now. I didn't speak to Beverly yesterday because you get a load of trouble. I don't know why. So I avoided Beverly, not because I don't like her or anything like that. It's just that I don't know. She's asking me personal things and I don't know who that information is going back to. and where my money, questions about my money and who's in control of my money is my business. So I'm careful. I left the library. I went to the Lloyds Bank to withdraw money. I went to the Demeltzer charity shop for 2 DVDs, In Pursuit of Happiness, and an exorcist film, which is called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is made in 2005. The town centre as usual, a loose dog, no police, and being shoved and pushed about, the usual. Great big tall fellas coming at me about 6 or 7 foot, and I'm only 5'5", like, you know, ready to give a woman a good bashing, sort of looking at you like that. And I've done nothing to nobody. So I went to Sainsbury's, and my brother-in-law was on duty as a security guard. And I completely ignored him, like he ignored me when I needed help, when that bike nearly knocked me over. So I walked past him. I went home through the Fishy Tunnel Way, past the loose dog, and homeless people sat on the floor. And there was a lady, homeless. I felt sorry for her, lying on the floor in the shop doorway with her leg hanging out. I walked home through the Fishy Tunnel Way with the Lech cans all spread out, Lech, up the stairs and into my flat. Post was on the floor. I had a letter on the floor from my son, Andy, which says, "Hi Mum," it's dated the 29th of June 2018. "Hope you're well, as I haven't heard from you in a long time. I have been unwell recently, but luckily out of the local hospital. I've also been watching the football on television, and I've been offered work at RAF Fairford Air Tattoo Show. At Fairford, the royal family is attending too, as well as many famous other people. The weather down here has been extremely hot and unbearable. Well, speak soon, I guess. Take care, Andy." And it's got the National Trust on the back, and East Head, the beach at sunset, East Head, West Sussex. It's a nice picture, which looks like a man and a lady on the beach walking a dog. I got a letter from Animal Aid in Tunbridge, a letter from MCH with a questionnaire in it, and that's Animal Aid. On returning home, I wasn't in the house, in the flat, more than 3/4 of an hour when loud music started bursting out from somewhere down that end of the flats, right at the end, maybe in the middle, centre at the end, and it was making me feel ill. And I'd had that card from Andy saying, "I hope you're well." This music burst out so loud I felt physically sick. I just got in the flat. I wasn't going to go out again. A couple of I heard female voices out the window going, "Ugh," and about half an hour later, "Ugh," like you're being forced out of your flat. And I know Beverly used to go out 3 or 4 times and talk to Brian, the man with the tidy stick, I call him. She used to talk to Brian for half an hour. He's the chap that wears black shorts, black t-shirt, and goes around with a stick picking up other people's rubbish, and he looks like a small version of Prince Charles. Beverly used to talk to everyone. I'm completely opposite from Beverly. I keep myself to myself. And my mum's another one that goes and talks to the bin men. I'm not interested, you know. I've had troubles with men, troubles in my life. I can do without them. So I'm not like that. I don't need a man to look after me. I carry all my shopping up the stairs and everything else. And if men feel the need to intimidate me and push me about, and I have been punched by a man in the town in near the Luton Arches in broad daylight, and women and men alike at the bus stop were pretending it wasn't happening when he'd broken my glasses. So you can understand why I don't trust people. And I was talking to my daughter Rebecca on the phone. This drug addict comes out of nowhere, calls me a whore, stops my phone conversation, and then he punches me twice in the face for talking to my daughter. So I don't trust people. I don't really like people, and I keep myself to myself, and that's why. I can't do anything. If I wear a dress, I'm a slag. If I talk to my daughter on the phone, I'm a whore. And then you find yourself trapped indoors with nobody to speak to and nothing to do, isolated, being given pills, enough pills to kill yourself with, epilepsy pills that can cause epileptic seizures. Andy rang me later on in the evening, after I'd had this music torture, to tell me that he was in hospital and that he'd had a fit round his dad's and had lacerated his chin. And I feel sorry for my son. I didn't know he was in hospital, but you know, he said he couldn't hear me on the phone. Could I go out to the phone box in the middle of the night and talk to him? And no, I'm not. Dave came up the path not long after the phone call had stopped, late last night with his bike and his headlights blaring in my eyes as I was looking out the window. Several cars came in the car park with their headlights blaring into my eyes. I'd happened to be listening to Eminem on my phone to try and cheer myself up from this innate boredom and isolation. So I was listening to Monkey See, Monkey Do, and you know, trying to cheer myself up a bit before Andy rang. And now I'm worried about my son, who seems to be having fits